created us to be for 2026. And I'm going to be kind to you, but since you just sat down, but do me a favor, tap the person on your right or your left and ask them, why are you such in a rush? Tap the person you didn't want to tap last time and ask them, why are you such in a rush? You all know that we are in a series titled Take a Sip. A youth challenge, what Take a Sip stands for is God's spiritual improvement plan. And what we believe at Chosen is that God has called us to be spiritual. That means God has a plan and purpose for us, and we can't get to God's plan and purpose unless we submit to his will and live life his way. And the title for our talk tonight is, why you okay? Yeah, why are you in such a rush? Before we dive into today's lesson, I want to go back before I go forward, because when we talked about taking a sip, we know that the text is telling us that there are 7 things that God hates. And we're talking about the 5th thing today, but I want to go back before I go forward. The first thing that God told us he hates was haughty eyes. And haughty eyes simply means is when we look over people instead of looking at them. It's when we think we're so good, we think we're so perfect, that we look over people. But Jesus didn't look over people, he looked at them. And he touched those, the lepers, those that were cast out. Jesus wasn't afraid to pull them close. And we want to be the type of church that can touch the lepers. Those that the community cast out, we want them to know that they are chosen. And then we moved from haughty eyes to the tongue. And we learned that lying is more than speech, because lies carry the DNA of Satan. John 8:44 says when he lies, he speaks out of his own character. He's a liar and a father of lies. We learned that lying isn't a white lie. That lying opens up an alternative timeline. And when I lie, I begin to live a life that I was never meant to live. And then we learned, after we discussed the eyes and after we discussed the tongue, we talked about our hands, because God hates murder. But we learned murder wasn't just what we do physically. Murder is what we do spiritually, because some of us have killed people in the spirit. That when we refuse to forgive, when we hold bitterness in our heart against people, what we realize is that we cut people off and they no longer exist to us. And we learned that that's murder too. And bitterness in our hearts is what leads to violence in our hands. And God said, you don't have the right to take the life of anybody I gave life. And you don't have the right not to forgive somebody that I have forgiven. So after we talked about the eyes, and after we talked about the tongue, and after we talked about the hands, we then talked about our hearts. And we discussed the problem with premeditated sin. We learned that sometimes we don't fall into sin. Unfortunately, we schedule it. And God hates a heart that plans to sin. So after we talked about the eyes and we talked about the tongue and we talked about the hands and we talked about the heart, today we want to talk about the feet that run to evil. Can we read this together? Proverbs 6:16 through 19. Here we go on 3. 1, 2, 3. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed a heart Everybody say, why are you in a rush? God hates feet that run towards evil. Purpose point. We rush toward what we're excited about, and we're casual toward what we don't care about. Did you get that? We rush toward what we're excited about, what we don't want to miss. On New Year's Eve, I texted my daughter and asked her if she wanted to go to the movies, and I said, pick a movie, and she said, what was the name of the movie we saw? What was it, Pumpkin? Elise, stop laughing. What was the name of the movie, bro? Huh? Zootopia, thank you. It was so funny. I think she's laughing because I sent her a text after she said she wanted to see Zootopia. I told her I was hoping somebody young and immature would ask me to go see it because I wanted to see it, but I'm too grown. So I said, perfect, we're going to pull up in Zootopia. And guess what? When Linda wasn't downstairs, I was like, where's your mom? Because we were excited and we wanted to rush to see Zootopia 2 because it was something our heart desired. And what I realized is that when there's something you really want, you don't want to be late for it. I love seeing you, which is one of the reasons I greet at 5:30, because I love seeing people show up for worship early. What that means is that you don't take this casually, that you want to see. You have been thinking about worship all week. You're serious about your spirituality, and you make time for God. But then conversely, there are those who are casual with Christ, and they rush towards what's ratchet. I have an interesting interrogative tonight. Why are so many Christians casual towards Christ, yet sprint towards sin? I'm here to build you up, not beat you up. Remember, my name's Unique Mackey, and I am your. But I got to give you the symptoms of spiritual imbalance. What does that mean? That means when the scales of our lives start tipping more towards the ratchet than the righteous. When the scales of our life begin to tip more towards the hellish than the holy. Here's one symptom. You slow to answer God's call, but quick to answer your babe's. That's a symptom of spiritual imbalance. Oh, that didn't get you. You single. I got you. Here it is. Checking the clock in the sanctuary, but losing track of time. Oh, you can't wait till I get done. Here he go again. He said 7:30, it's 7:36, but you ain't rush out the club. You was mad when they turned on the lights. I wasn't done. I want to finish this drink. This drink was $17.80. I'm not leaving until I'm done. Well, I ain't leaving until I'm done. Here's another one. Sin feels like a celebration, and holiness feels like a When somebody asks you to do something spiritual, you lose oxygen. Another fast. another prayer. Oh, I gotta, oh. That's a sign. I'm not calling you unholy. I'm just saying that could be a symptom. Evil excites you, and righteousness exhausts you. One of the reasons I get here so early on Saturday is, to be honest, I can't wait. No, that's not just empty preaching rhetoric. There's something in me that pulls me towards worship. There's something in me that says, Unique, you haven't done anything as important as what you're about to do in these next 6 hours. And my passion for Christ, and honestly, my passion for you, pulls me into the worship center. And I worship like the place is full and ain't nobody even here. See, when our lives tip more towards the ratchet than the righteous, that attitude produces a lifestyle where we're quick to sin, but we slow to sanctification. It produces a lifestyle where I'm more attracted to the devil than I am the divine. It produces a lifestyle. It produces a mindset that's carnal instead of Christ-centered. And here is the whole point of the message. Ladies, if the crew asks you when you get back what you learned, here it is, the sermon in a sentence. Whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. Whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. For some of us, our flesh has become a bully. For some of us, our flesh is so strong that it makes your spirit do what it doesn't want to do. Some of you, your flesh is so strong that even when you know you should keep your mouth shut, them four-letter words just fly out. Your spirit is a heavyweight, and your flesh is a heavyweight, and your spirit is a lightweight. Your flesh is so strong that even when you know you shouldn't go to that website, your hands keep typing. Your flesh is so strong that even when you know you should apologize, there's something in your spirit that won't let you. Your flesh is so strong that even when you know you shouldn't turn your head, your flesh makes you, and you can't stop staring. Your flesh is so strong, you know you ought to forgive, but your flesh won't let your spirit say, I'm going to let that. You got the spirit, but it's emaciated. It's starving. It's weak. No, if you die, you'll go to heaven, but your life is like hell. And I love what Jesus said to pray. He said, your will be done on earth. Oh, you missed it. Your will be done on as it is in. I need to get some heaven on earth. Oh, yeah, you missed it. I need to get some holiness on earth. I need to get some prosperity on earth. I need to get some purpose on earth. I need to get some generosity on earth. I need to get some focus on earth. I need what God has to show up in my life. I'm not waiting to get to heaven to be happy I'm a Christian. So here it is. My spirit has become timid. We sung the song. What was the song we sung first? Desire. But truth be told, some of us don't have a hunger and thirst for righteousness. For some of us, we satisfied where we at. Some of us, we don't want to be challenged in our faith. Some of us, we sung it, but it wasn't in our spirit. I got a question. Do you really desire God? I'm not saying perfect, because a righteous man falls 7 times, but they get back up. Perfect doesn't exist, but persistence does. Desire means I'm going to do better today than I did yesterday. I'm going to love better today than I did yesterday. I'm going to forgive better today than I did yesterday. I'm going to live holier today than I did yesterday. Holiness is growing in my faith. I should be more mature today. Are you growing in spiritual? Listen, spiritual maturity. Just because you're getting older don't mean you're getting holier. Because maturity don't come with age. Some of you think you mature, but you just can't anymore. By the time the club open, you sleep. You go, but you tired. You just can't. That don't mean you Christ-like. You just. Here it is. I kind of hope this hurts your feelings. The problem isn't that sin is too strong. The problem is the spirit is too starved. You give sin too much credit. You say, oh, the devil is busy. You get busy then. Yes, the devil is an accuser of the brethren. The devil is in God's face. Are you? If the devil is in God's face, you ought to get in God's face. If you know the devil is accusing you day and night, you ought to be on your knees day and night. Don't let the devil be in God's presence more than his children. You're more powerful than you give yourself credit. You just won't access the spirit. I told somebody the other day, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. I know mental health is real. There are real mental health issues. Coupled with that, everybody's got mental health issues. Why? Because you was born in sin and you were shaped in iniquity. You were born broken. You were born with a messed up mind. You were born in a current that was sending you in the wrong direction. You were born with a propensity towards evil. You were born selfish and self-centered. You were born not wanting to listen to authority. You were born with a propensity towards evil, which means that we are all mentally ill. I was mentally ill. What person in their right mind wakes up and say, today I'm going to start selling guns? What person in their right mind dates the same dummy with a different name? The last one didn't love you, this one don't love you. And the less they love you, the more you like them. I just can't deal with a good guy. Well, it's something wrong with you. You mentally, I just run him off. Well, you mentally ill. The more somebody loves you and the nicer they are, the less you like them. That's broken. And the problem is, don't miss it, we want to pull fruit from the Spirit, but how are we going to reap fruit from the Spirit if we're just sowing lust of the flesh? How are we going to live a spiritual life if the only thing we feed is our flesh? How are we going to love? How are we going to have self-control? How are we going to be disciplined? How are we going to be joyful? How are we going to persevere? How are we going to exemplify the Spirit in us if all we feed is the flesh in us? I told you a couple weeks ago, you don't get an apple tree planting a peach seed. You don't get a spiritual life planting flesh seeds. And unfortunately, some of us have turned away from God because we're not reaping the benefits, and we blame it on God, and God is like, you're not sowing spirit. You're expecting to reap fruit, but all you've been sowing is flesh. So it's not that I'm broken, change your seed. You can't harvest purpose if you sow in perversion. Everybody say, God isn't broken. Here it is. Let's break it down and I'll get out your face. We fed our flesh so long that now, and here's what it means when we run towards evil, the feet that runs towards evil. Here's part of what he's saying in the text. Our flesh perverts us without permission. Did you get that? What I'm saying is, there's a difference between what we talked about a couple weeks ago when we plan sin, premeditated. That's intentional rebellion. Hasty sin is an impulsive reverence. When we premeditate sin, that's intentional rebellion. Those of us who are hasty in sin, what that is that's an impulsive reverence for sin. In other words, one is calculated, the other one is a craving. When temptation shows up, a hasty person doesn't know how to turn it down because they're not strong enough in their spirit to overcome what the flesh wants in that moment. One is extremely intentional and the other is extremely impulsive. And here's the struggle. We don't realize that getting saved or giving our life to Christ does not delete your default. Let me explain to you what default is. Here it is. Default setting is a pre-selected value or action the computer will take unless the user specifies otherwise. So in a computer, the default setting is how the system behaves before you tell it what to do. And until we mature in Christ, sin is your default. when there's no prayer, no worship, no fasting, no repentance, the flesh doesn't have to ask for permission. The flesh doesn't pause. The flesh won't procrastinate. The flesh will run towards evil. Why? Because evil is its default. You don't have to try to be greedy. You got to try to be generous. You don't have to try sin. You have to try salvation. You don't have to try to be mad. You have to try to be kind. You don't have to try to be unforgiving. You have to try to be forgiving. Default is our setting. Sin is the default. And some of us, here's where we get frustrated with our faith. We thought when we gave our relationship with Christ, we thought when we started going to church, what we thought was, my default has been deleted. I'm never going to sin again. I'm never going to make another mistake. I'm never going to date another dummy. I'm never going to smoke that again. I'm never going to drink that again. I'm not going to have any desire for sin. And when sin crept back up in your life, you thought God wasn't real. But salvation doesn't delete your default. Salvation gives you another option. Paul says it better than I could. He describes the inner conflict of a believer. He says, every person underneath the sound of my voice can relate to this. Watch this. All eyes on me. I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. Then he cries out, don't miss it. It won't be on the screen. This was a last minute edit. Y'all are like, it ain't coming. Here it is. He says, what a wretched Paul saying, I'm a disciple. I've been following Christ. His spirit is alive in me. But I'm struggling with my default setting. There's some things I don't want to do that I'm still attracted to. There's some places I don't need to be, I still love to go. There are some habits that I don't want to have anymore. I am still struggling. Am I the only one that still struggles? There's some things I don't want to do that pull me in that direction. There's some, he says, my default hadn't died. He says, who will rescue me from this body of death? We are clothed in sin. You were never created to die. Dying began when we disconnected from God. Sin always starts a process of death. So our flesh is dying. Our hair grays. Our muscles get weaker. We begin deteriorating the day we are born. That is sin. So Paul says, who can rescue me from this body of death? In other words, I'm clothed in sin. My body is sin. Salvation didn't eliminate flesh. It introduced the rival. It introduced competition. It introduced another option. That's why Jesus said in John 3, if you want to know God, you must be born again. not of the flesh, because that would put you in the same predicament. But you must be born of the Spirit. I told somebody the other day that Albert Einstein says that you can't solve a problem on the level it was created. Some of us are trying to solve a flesh problem with flesh. You're trying to fix it yourself, but you can't solve a problem with what the problem was created with. To get out of a flesh problem, you need the Spirit. To get out of a flesh, only Jesus can fix that. Only Jesus can fix your mindset. Only Jesus can fix your heart. Only Jesus can solve that pain. Only Jesus can rescue you. You can't do it with your hands. You're going to disappoint yourself every time. You're trying to solve a flesh problem with flesh. You can't do that. Jesus has to rescue. Everybody say, I need Spirit. I humbly submit. Because I know what you're thinking. Y'all theologians, I know it. Y'all, he's saying, Pastor, you got it wrong. You forgot about 2 Corinthians 5:17. If anyone is a new creature, the old has passed away. Behold, all has become new. See, Pastor, you don't read your... I humbly submit. I'm not above reproach. There's no perfect preacher on the planet here. I humbly submit to you that the old that has gone wasn't your default setting. Let me break it down to you. Give me the definition for default again, Mama Hatcher. A default is a pre-selected action the computer will take unless the user does what? Here it is. You're going to lose your mind when I say this. The default setting isn't what got deleted. It isn't what's gone, and it isn't what's new. That's the operating system. The operating system is the core software that manages the computer hardware, and it's the environment in which the default setting operates, not the default setting itself. Before salvation, the operating system was sin. Therefore, the default setting was sin. Oh, Nate, I'm about to get in the bag. It's Louis. Here it is. Sin wasn't something you did. It was the operating system. And whatever runs the system sets the default. So your operating system was sin. That's why Jesus says you are father. Your father is the devil. Why? Because you had the same operating system as the devil. You had the devil's DNA. That's why Jesus says you got to be born again, because your DNA is broken. You got the wrong operating system. So if you want to operate with me, you need a new operating system. And my operating system is the Spirit. My operating system is my whatever runs the system sets your default. And you can't change in a day what was your default for a decade. Yeah, God can deliver you. Yes, God does miracles. But more often than not, after salvation, there comes a season of sanctification. There comes a season of submission, a season of changing your habits, a season of changing your crowd, a season of getting in your word, a season of service, a season to where that default begins to change and align itself with the new operating system. So don't give up on your faith. Get into the new operating system. Romans 8:7 says, watch this, it's going to blow your mind. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile towards God, Napoleon. Did you see that? A flesh-ruled mind means flesh is in charge of the system. Sin was the operating system, so the default was resistant to God. Paul didn't say the mind itself was hostile. He says the mind set on flesh. You missed it. You missed it. The mind what? The mind what? That word set on is default language. You missed it. You missed it. Your mindset. You nasty because your mind set on it. You unforgiving because your mind set on it. You greedy because your mind set on it. You jealous because your mind set on it. You got low self-esteem because your mind set on it. You undisciplined because your mind set on it. You selfish because your mind set on it. But when you gave your life to Christ, you got another option of what you could set your mind on. I don't got to set my mind on greed. I can set it on generosity. I don't have to set my mind on perversion. I can set it on purity. I don't got to set my mind on distraction. I can set my mind on discipline. When the operating system is flesh, the mind learns fleshy defaults. And sanctification is choosing to have a different mindset. Sanctification is knowing that sin is still there, but I can have a different mindset. Sanctification is there may be some things that are tempting, but I'm not who I used to be. Why? Because a new option came alive in me when I gave my life to God, and I can say no to what I used to couldn't resist. I have an option to have a new mind. Salvation changes my position. Sanctification reshapes my patterns. Salvation changes what operating system runs, but sanctification changes what operating system rules. Salvation let holiness run. Sanctification needs to let holiness rule. Salvation brought alive discipline, but sanctification needs to let discipline rule. That's why you struggle. That's why holiness isn't easy and you run towards evil. You don't recognize that you could fight it and that evil's just your default. You can fight it. You can overcome. You need to give God glory. You can achieve the goals that God has for you. You can break free of what has had you bound. You can live a different life. It doesn't matter what your parents or grandparents did. You can have the first marriage that doesn't end up in divorce. You can be the first one in your family to own a home. You can be the first one in your family to remain faithful. You can be the first one in your family to get a college degree. You can be. But you have to shift what your mind is set on. So you have a lot of Christians that have an option, but they live fleshy lives because they won't switch the operating system. The operating system changes instantly. When you gave your life to Christ, God came alive in you. That spirit that wasn't alive in you when you were born came alive in you. And now you have an option for God. But even though the operating system, when you submit to God, changes instantly, the defaults only change intentionally. Oh, you need more proof. Romans 12:2. Be transformed. Oh, y'all ought to know where I'm going. Be transformed by the renewing of your Oh, I can change my mindset. I have been born again, but I have not yet been transformed. Yeah, he's talking to Christians here. He's telling people who already know God, stop living the same. Stop looking the same. Stop doubting the same. Get out of that low self-esteem. Get out of that fear. You are new, but you have not transformed yet. Why? Because your mind is set on an old operating system. You haven't realized that there's a spirit alive in you, and you can say no to what used to rule you. You can rule over what used to rule you. You don't have to be a slave to your default setting. Grace changes the operating system. Obedience changes the default. Oh yeah, God chose you before the foundation of the world. Before you came out your mama's womb, God already said you were chosen. You may not have been planned by your parents, but you were planned by God. He chose you, that's grace. But obedience, you choose. That's why Colossians 3:5 says, put to death. Woo. Therefore, what belongs, oh my goodness, to your earthly nature. Oh my goodness. See, that if old things that had passed away was your default setting, then he wouldn't have said put to death whatever belongs to your earthly nature. He is letting us know that it's not going to die naturally. That is not going to die just because you chose Jesus. It's not going to die just because you know how to worship. It's not going to die just because you go to church. It's going to die because you choose to submit your life to Jesus Christ. It's going to die because you choose obedience over your flesh. It's going to die because you're going to lean not upon your own understanding and in all your ways acknowledge God and let him direct your path. You got to put that default setting to death. You got to choose you want better. You got to choose you want to honor God. You got to choose you want your family to be better than your family you came out of was. You got to. God ain't going to get you up out of the bed. You got to choose to get up. God ain't going to make you do the devotion. You got to open the word. God ain't going to make you be generous. You got to swipe the card. Stop putting human stuff on a holy God. You got power over that default. How could Jesus get out the grave and you can't get out of that? The same spirit that rose Jesus Christ from the grave is alive in me. Oh, you missed it. That same spirit that got Jesus over death is alive in you. Sin is death. So whatever you want to overcome through Christ, you can overcome. Whatever you want to fight through Christ, you can fight. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. This year can be different than last year. You can go places you've never been before. You can have a faith stronger than it's ever been. You don't have to rush towards evil. You don't have to settle for what comes in your life. Everybody say, I've got the power. See, dead doesn't mean inactive. Your flesh is dead. Default setting is dead. It doesn't mean it's inactive. Dead just means dethroned. Dead just means it doesn't have the power that it used to. Dead just means I got an option now. Dead just means you dethroned. Dead just means your negativity ain't going to take over my mind. Fear, you're not going to rule me this year. Doubt, you're not going to have the last word. Dead is inactive. Positionally, sin has no power. You struggle with the pattern, though. It has no power positionally, but practically it still has a pattern. there's some things that you just used to doing. There's some thought patterns you just used to having. There's some places you just used to going. There's some people you just used to surrounding yourself with. So now that sin is not alive in you anymore, you still just used to the pattern. But this year I'm breaking patterns. This year I'm doing stuff different. This year I'm moving in a different way. This year I may have to shift my circle. This year I'm changing my habits. This year I'm putting the bottle down and picking up the Bible. This year I'm hitting my knees. And I did this year. Sin is dead as a ruler, but it's alive as a routine. Oh, that's you just used to talking that way, but you can break it. You just used to believing you can't, but you can. You just used to smoking it, but you can put it. You just used to drinking it, but you can put it. It's not a ruler. It's just a routine. You need to break that routine. You need to shift some stuff in your life. You need to get hungry and thirsty for righteousness. You need to start a new circle. You need to read different books. You need to watch different things. You need to, everybody say, break the routine. It's not a ruler. You so self-defeated. I tried last year and it didn't work. It ain't a ruler. It's just a routine. I set a New Year's resolution last year, and I'm still not as in shape as I want to be. It's not a ruler. It's just a routine. Oh, my marriage then ain't doing right. I want us to be happy, but hey, it's not a ruler. It's just a routine. And the Spirit of God gives you the ability to break the routine. That's why Jesus died and got up out the grave. He want to say death ain't the routine no more. I don't have to stay in that grave. I don't have to end my story this way. Is there anybody that this year I'm shifting my story? This year is going to be different than last year. This year you ruled me, but next year I'm breaking the routine. I'm waking up with a default attitude that's going to die. I'm waking up with a default disposition that's going to die. I'm waking up to fear that's going to die. I'm waking up to low self-esteem that's going to die. I'm waking up to debt that's going to die. I'm waking up to a dying ministry that's going to come alive. It's time for us to set our mind on the spiritual operating system. You don't have to choose flesh. You don't have to choose lust. You don't have to choose perversion. You don't have to choose the same old circle. You don't have to choose to run your house that way. You don't have to choose to spend your money that way. You don't have to choose to raise your kids that way. You can break the cycle of sin in your life. Here it is. Path to purpose. Same one as last week. I've got 90-day commitment calendars. If you didn't get one last week, you're welcome to come on up and grab one. I've got one on my right. I've got one in the middle. And I've got some on the side. What this does is it gives you 90 days to be a habit changer and a habit breaker and a habit builder. Because listen, this is why you come to Chosen. Because the average pastor would have just preached a message. I say, Unique, you got to give them a plan. You got to give them something practical to do. And I'm here to tell you that if you submit to God, it'll be easier for you to resist sin. But you will never get to where God has called and created you to be with the same habits. You've got to shift your mindset. Let me tell you what this is while you grab them. If we need to get more, we'll get more. I want 10 out of 13 Saturdays. Last year, our attendance fell off drastically after January. And you won't get to where God has called you to be without Christian community. Something special happens in worship. Something special happens when you listen to the preached word. Something special happens when you serve other people. Something special happens when the saints come together and consecrate time to show God how special he is. I'm not saying you got to be perfect. All I said was 10 out of 13. Go to your birthday party. Go to your wedding. Just give me 10 out of 13. Daily devotion. I want 5 days out of 7 days. Does Jesus deserve 5 days of devotion? I'm not saying 7. I know you get sleepy. I know you hit the snooze button like I do sometimes. I'm saying 5. There's grace. You can have this one. Here you go. And we'll print some more. We'll print some more. I want you 2 days out of your week. That's what I call physical stewardship. Because God's got a plan and a purpose for your life. And it's hard to live out purpose in a hospital bed. Will you work out 2 days a week? Because remember, this is Bible. I want you to prosper as your soul prospers. There's something spiritual about being healthy. If God is in you, don't make him stay in a raggedy temple. Christians ought to be the healthiest people on the planet because we believe God is in us. Community connection. Will you connect with a Chosen Connect group for discipleship? I'm excited to say we have some new discipleship classes coming this year through Purpose Fueled Leader, through Sam and his partnership team. We'll roll those out. But for now, you do have options. Ladies meet second Monday of every single month. If you're not a part of Classy, you need to be. Men meet at the barbershop, Augusta's Barber's Lounge. Matter of fact, men, get this on your calendar. Power is meeting at Augusta's Barber's Lounge this Monday. Sam is doing a fabulous job leading those men, and we meet at the barbershop. So if your homeboy be like, I don't like the church, we ain't going to the church, we going to the barbershop. This Monday. What time does that start? 6:30. Classy, 6:30. We have co-ed Bible study on the third and fourth Monday of each month. Sleepy does an amazing job breaking down the scriptures and leading those kingdom conversations. You need to be there. Can you do one a month? I want you to connect with us. I want you to grow in what God has called and created you to do. Do not go into 2026 with the same old habits. Y'all give Youth Challenge a hand, y'all. We love y'all. Y'all, we got y'all some Chick-fil-A. Go grab your Chick-fil-A boxes. We love you. We thank you for kicking it with us, y'all. They got to get back. And so we pray that we'll see them next week. Listen, that's all we asking. And guess what? It's not for us. It's for you. I love having you here. I love you being a part of our chosen family. But if you want something different this year, you got to do something different this year. So dear Heavenly Father, I pray that the word fell on good ground, that it will reap amazing and supernatural fruit. I pray that during this last worship song, you will convict and convince us on what we need to do to be conformed more into your image and your likeness. All this we pray is in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hey, we chosen, you know we gotta crank it up. Yeah, I've been chosen, you already know. We finna have us a party. Let's go. Broke out the cell, I was ready to go. We finna have us a party. Yeah, hopped in the list with your Nick and he ready to slide. We finna have us a party. Yeah, neighborhood Nick been ready to ride. We finna have us a party. Go. How I'ma live with so much on my mind. We finna have us a party. Hey, I know one day that the sun gonna shine. We finna have us a party. Yeah, he answer my calls, he right on the line. We finna have us a party. Yeah, I told you I'm chosen, I'm one of a kind. We finna have us a party. Yeah, I'm switching it up. This for them youngers ain't listening up. I told you I'm chosen, I'm giving it up. I put up my pride, I'm humbling down. All in the streets, I've been running around. I told you chosen. Forget about the life that you used to live. I told you keep growing. Ice on my neck, I'm the coldest. SOS every Saturday. I'm chosen, you already know it. I remember when I ain't even know the way. I woke up and I found me a purpose. I told you that I'm staying motivated. I had to let go of distractions. That's the only way I see me elevating. I gotta stay prayed up around this junk cause they ready to slide on me. The devil always at work. If you scared, go to chosen, I ain't even gon' lie, homie. My mama told me prayer works, I put Christ first, he was ready to die for me. I got a real big God on my side, so don't push my butt. Don't push my butt. Yeah, I've been chosen, you already know. We finna have us a party. I broke out the cell, I was ready to go. We finna have us a party. Yeah, hopped in the list with your Nick and he ready to slide. We finna have us a party. Yeah, neighborhood Nick been ready to ride. We finna have us a party. How I'ma live with so much on my mind. We finna have us a party. I know one day that the sun gonna shine. We finna have us a party. Yeah, he answer my calls, he right on the line. We finna have us a party. Yeah, I told you I'm chosen, I'm one of a kind. We finna have us a party. Yeah, pull up on me and you know what we doing. I told you I'm trying to be fresh as a preacher. Where is you going? You know that I need you. Out in these streets, I'm dodging influences. Winning it, we never losing it. Came from the bottom, you know how we doing it. Came in a party, I brought the whole crew. You know we chosen, you know how I do. I gotta get it and get it and get it and get it. I pray that it's worth it. We doing this for the youth every day cause I know that they hurt. We gotta show them the way cause it ain't no way that they ain't got a purpose. I'm leaning on God to give me the right thing to say cause I know I ain't perfect.